we should switch gears. We should talk about baseball
before Tom kills us.
Tom's falling asleep over there.
Tom already cut all this from the episode.
He's snoozing on us. He doesn't want to talk about golf anymore. Let's talk about baseball. Should we cover the Jeff McNeil extension?
4 for 50.
4 for 50. People, can I just address something? People are saying Jeff McNeil 4 for 50. What a steal! Jeff McNeil, sneaky, has 2 years of ARB left.
Does he?
He did just win a batting title.
He did just win a batting title, but he's got to cover 2 years of ARB, and they're paying him ARB 1, ARB 2, ARB 3. So he had filed at like 775, and they had filed at 625, maybe something like that. So they were in the middle at 7.
That's a huge difference.
Yep. And then you kind of assume that year 3 there is like a $4 or $5 million raise. So something like 11. There's a buyout for 2 in there. So they're valuing his age 30. He's a little sneaky, a little bit older. They're valuing his age 33, 34 or 33, 34 free agent years at 15, 16-ish a year. So when you look at the whole thing, could Jeff McNeil have played out his last 2 years and gone and got a, 3-year 60-ish? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's in there. Maybe there's a 3 for 45. Maybe there's a 3 for 60 in there. Maybe there's something else. But, he likes being a Met. They have a really good team, gives him some security. He's a guy that made it up a little later, and he's got 2 All-Star nods now and a batting title, and he's paid. So,
and it's tough, like you're saying, when you're not he's not a power guy. Like in today's baseball, it's like everyone wants home run hitters. So it's like if he doesn't hit 300 every year, like he can't hit 250. He needs to keep hitting 300, or he's not worth the money. And that's just kind of like that's why I see that as a fair deal both ways.
And again, like you said, he's an older guy. Like when that deal comes across the table, like it's hard to say no. Like,
yeah.
He's 2 years away from free agency, so he would have to back it up twice because he, unfortunately, with the system, he'll get penalized if he has a bad year going into free agency because of his age.
Right.
For sure.
Like if he has a down year, he's going to be, I think he's 31. He'd be 31 this year, and then he'd be 32 next year. So if he goes out at 32 and hits 260 with a 750 OPS, that's a 105 OPS plus or whatever, and ends up doing that, like he'll be judged as declining because of his age, as opposed to, hey, it's just 1 year. And because guys that do that when they're 27, 28 still get absolutely paid. But, when you're looking at a 34, 33, 34, 35 free agent like that, is a little bit different equation. But I know he loves to play golf. I know he's from San Luis Obispo area. He's a little Northern California golfer guy.
Pretty sure he was supposed to be on our team, but then he had to sign this contract or something. I don't know.
Well, he can go play wherever he wants to play now. Good for him. He could play.
I think I agree. I think he's a very good player, and I wouldn't say that's undervalued or overvalued. Like I say, that's pretty fitting number for his talent. And exactly, his age is a huge factor in that. If he's 27 right now, maybe ride it out 2 years, see what happens.
Yeah. And you can't blame anybody for taking a deal and being on a really good team, being happy.
Exactly. That's another huge thing is like, he looks at the Mets roster and he's like, well, I mean, do I want to wait 2 years and then go sign a 3 for 60 with a bad team? I was going to name a team, but a bad team, and just kind of ride it out for the money. Like he's on a great team. He's going to get paid 12 and a half a year and probably hit at the top of that lineup for a long time.
It's still very good contract. A lot of money. He's set for life, set for a few lives.
I heard a hot take on Talking Baseball that they're really locked up. Yeah, I listen to Talking Baseball, Tom. Okay, no free ads. I heard a hot take that they got a lot of positions locked up on that field. Okay, Uncle Stevie brought back Nimmo. We got McNeil coming back. Obviously, Lindor's locked up. They had a third baseman. He's playing for another team, but they still got Escobar over there. They got Martes there for a couple more years.
Does Alonso have a long-term deal?
Alonso does not have a long-term deal. That was our hot take. When's the Alonso extension coming through? Is Uncle Stevie going to empty his pockets? I think he's got 1 or 2 left. I don't know what RB he's in. Tom, maybe look that up for the friends. I think he's in ARB 1.
Yeah.
I think he has 2 more years left. I think 19 was his rookie year, and I think he's probably got 2 left. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, he's at 4 years of service time, exactly. 4 years, 0 days. So
2 more.
2 more.
That's crazy. It takes that long to be a free agent. It's disgusting.
A long time. Got to play 7 full seasons in the big leagues to be a free agent. What a time to be alive.
It's
an incredibly broken system. I know we talk about this a lot, but I mean, just every time you hear about someone like McNeil and you're like, this guy's not going to be a free agent until he's in his mid-30s and he's a great player and would obviously get a lot more than that for fair market value. But I know you guys go to every negotiation fighting about this topic. I know it's one of the most important things that the Players Association cares about, but man, it's such a bad system. Whoever invented the system really fucked the players over to begin with.
I mean, Ian, you'll be like on the younger side at 29 or 28 29 is a free agent. Like that's like almost young nowadays. Nico will be like super young.
Yeah, Ian came up within 18 months of your draft, right? You got drafted.
Yeah,
you're rookie.
I get to the big leagues at 22. I will not be a free agent until 29.
It's basically like if you don't come out of high school now, like you won't be a free agent until you're like 30.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Soto is a guy that's so rare.
Oh yeah,
He's so valuable because he will be like a 26-year-old free agent, which is banana land.
Which is 10 years of prime baseball.
And the only people that have done that in recent memory is Machado and Harper.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of anybody else.
And
but
you saw the deals they got.
Those guys get paid because they are so young going into free agency. But yeah, 29's young. Feel great about that. Happy for myself. But guys are so penalized by being late bloomers. And it's tough. It's tough but like a guy like Josh Donaldson's a little bit of a late bloomer and kind of, he did a good job. He played all the way through. He didn't take an extension. He had the power numbers and everything. And what does he get from Minnesota? The 4 for 80 or whatever.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
Got paid. He was
making,
like
he still due like 50 mil at the start of last year, right?
Yeah. So there's guys that have done it and got paid, but it is, as far as the system goes, having to play 7 years because technically it's 6. But the team will always make it 7. Like they'll always find a way to make it 7, right? So
the fact that it's so easy for them to make it 7, right? I mean, the fact that it's like, he's going to be in the minor leagues for 2 weeks, and now we get an extra. Like you can't honestly, you can't even blame them for taking advantage of it. The way the system is right now. Like they would be stupid for playing him the full year.
That was the thing with Chris Bryant. Even like obviously everyone was mad about it, and like it made no sense to have him down. But it's like if I'm running an organization, I'm like, why would I not sit this guy in the minors for a month and like come up with an excuse for why and have 1 full extra year of him for half the price he's going to be worth? Like it's stupid. It's just good business. But it's like you said, Tom, it's a broken system that's even a thing that they can do.
Yeah, and there are some things that are put in place this year that seem to have helped. Where a guy like Julio Rodriguez plays the whole year.
Olivia Rodrigo, your girl.
He did get extended, but like, and so did Michael Harris. But these guys, because of the new rules, and if you finish in the top 2 of the Rookie of the Year, you get a full year of service. Like because of some of that stuff, maybe some of these guys got a chance to play a little bit sooner than they would have under the old system. We're still trying to figure out if that works.
Would you say that's why guys like Michael Harris and like Rodriguez are taking deals so early? Because they're like, well, we have so long until we're a free agent anyway. Like we might as well get our money now instead of waiting through league minimum.
Can go wrong. It's bad to say, but like even if you have bad years, not even talking about injuries, but like if you have bad years, like, hey man,
money goes way
your value.
down.
Yeah, your value is diminishing. I don't care how long you play.
Yeah, but definitely. But those guys, if you if you make it up at 21, 22, and you turn that 7 into a 6 because you won a rookie of the year, or you got top 2 in the voting, then you're coming back out at 28, there's still the ability to make money through the ARB system. Like and then you become a super 2 because you've played full years, like those things definitely have an impact. And like, if I don't know if I think I think we all of the people that were in the room making the decisions would like love to see what if some of those young guys got that one less year of service and like actually did like 5 years down the road or getting to free, like what the numbers look like, how that moves the market, like some of that stuff. You can never blame somebody for like taking that like security up front and like taking care of themselves. But there is some like, how is this going to work? And it's going to take a long time to figure it out. But I think those are all questions before the next agreement of like trying to figure out how it is working when we get there.
Well, the hard part right now too is that also guys are getting rewarded for past performance, right? I mean, you're talking about the guys who are getting the big contracts are guys now in their 30s. That's the time they're going to get paid. But I mean, we all know how a baseball prime works. That's the back half of the bell curve. Instead of the guys getting paid for when they're actually producing, they're getting paid much later, and the whole system's just awful.
But I think you're seeing now. I think we had a period of time where guys were getting. There was long contracts where guys were getting paid for what they had done, and we had a few examples of guys falling off pretty aggressively, right? And there was a lot of judgment on those contracts. And then we went to this like super, like pushed it the other way, and we went super short term. We paid guys a lot of money for a short amount of time. Got super scared of the long term. But then you see the guy that we just talked to, you see a Joey Votto reinvent himself and become a really, really good player at 37, 38 years old. But what we're not talking about, and you see Justin Turner continue to play super well, and you see like and you see pitchers pitching at 38 years old and winning Cy Youngs. And I think that what we're not talking about is that the game changed so rapidly and so aggressively from 2015 to 2019, and some guys were caught up in that and some guys didn't perform through that. But because the game changed so much, because guys started throwing on average like multiple miles an hour faster, like in a steeper like curve than we had ever seen before. The high heater came into the game in a way that we had never seen before. There was stuff on guys' fingers that we had never seen before.
Can't prove
shifts got more aggressive than when we had ever seen before. Like there was all of these things. And then for pitchers, like there was more data on guys. There was more information on dudes. Guys had to figure out, like the guys like Verlander and Cole and all of these dudes like figured out how to be different, while there was more guys, young guys coming up, throwing harder, and the front offices were using guys in different ways, disposing of relief pitchers quicker, using guys for less time as starting pitchers. And the game changed so rapidly in such a short period of time. And I think now you're seeing those great players being able to readjust. I mean, shit, Pujols was, and I mean, let's not say that he was an all-star. Yes, but like also his second half was unbelievable. And like he figured it out. Like he figured out what some of the things he had to do and how he had to combat some of the pitches he was seeing. And like the great players will do that. And we saw even like a Miguel Cabrera hit 300 for the better part of last year. And I just think that the game has changed so much, and we'll see those really good players continue to adapt to it. And I'm very excited to see some of these long contracts and where guys are in the second half of them.
I'm excited to see your long contract.
Hey, thanks, man.
Can I tell you, this is back to golf real quick, but I just saw this stat. Can I read it to you guys? You've heard this stat before. Current world number one, Rory McIlroy, has the fourth most weeks all time as the world number one at 113. If he remained number one for the next 7 years, he would still be 200 weeks shy of Tiger's record. So basically the next
4 years,
like, it would take like 11 years for him to catch Tiger as the longest reigning world number one.
Oh, you're saying if he was number one for that amount of time, he would still be 4 years short.
If he, from now until January of 2030, if he stayed world number one, he is still 200 weeks shy of Tiger's record. So another, 4 years. So basically he's 11 years away from Tiger's record, and he'd have to remain number one the entire time.
Is that good?
That's just one of those stats where it's like, that can't be real. Like, what do you mean?
If I had a time machine, I would go back to the year 1998 and I would relive Tiger's greatness.
Yeah.
And just like, and just soak it all up. Just take it all in.
That's one of those like mind-blowing stats that it's like the, I was texting in our group text about like Verlander getting into the hall, and like you see his total career wins, and it's like, I think he's still like 50 shy of 300. It's like no one's ever going to get 300 wins again in the MLB. Like, it's one of those stats that will just never happen again.
That's why it was such a big deal for Johnny Lester to get 200. Like,
yeah, it's crazy how
I was playing with some of these guys in Orlando, right? And you go and you look at their baseball and you're like, Tom Glavine was a really good player. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, he gets it. This is the other thing. I would be on the tee, right? And they introduced, like, the first day they introduced Lester, and they're like, John Lester, 3-time World Series champion. And I was like, sick. Yeah, Johnny, 3-time World Series champ. And they're like, Ian Happ, left fielder for the Cubs.
They didn't even say All-Star?
No, they didn't say anything.
That's bullshit.
Like, left fielder for the
that's
Cubs.
bullshit.
And I was like,
you got to say Gold Glove All-Star outfielder for the Cubs. What is that? They didn't. Oh,
no,
they
just said left fielder for the Cubs. But I looked. I'm playing with Glavine, right? And they introduce him. They say Tom Glavine, Hall of Fame pitcher, and I said, "Yep, love that Hall of Famer, unbelievable." Let me look up that baseball reference. Tom Glavine played 22 years in the show. He had 305 wins with a 600 winning percentage and a 3.54 career ERA. And he had
22 years.
He had a span where from 1996 until 2007, he made 30 plus starts. 36, 33, 33, 35, 35, 35, 36, 32, 33, 33, 32, 34. What?
That's
Talk about,
insane.
and then like his first couple of years, it was like 34, 29, 33, 34, 33, 36, and then a couple 25, 29, and then this run. But it's just like that dude was so healthy. You look at his innings pitched, it was over 200 basically every single year, and different time, but God bless me, was his career impressive with 2 Cy Youngs and some Silver Sluggers. But just I was like looking at that baseball reference page, just going like, you were so good at baseball. Oh my God. But now it's like, if you have 200 wins, man, you did it. Like, unbelievable.
Ian, do you ever like sit back? It's like you've had a very, like I would say a great career so far, and it's kind of just getting started, but like, think about the success that you've had, and then you'll look at somebody like Votto or Glavine, whoever you're talking about, and like imagine how much like continued success they had throughout their career, and just like for how long it was. Like even anybody that we're talking about.
And you're like, fuck, man, I got to do this another 10 years.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
I mean, if I was going to have the 10-year run that Joey Votto had, I would have to play for 17 total years. Like, I would have to go 9 more, and I would be 37, 38. Like,
yeah.
What?
That's
like it's just like,
it's like
he's like talking about this 10-year run he had, like it was like light years ago. It's like, you're the best player in baseball for like 10 years. What are you talking about? It's just,
like Miggy. It's like Miggy nowadays. It's like, man, this guy's one of the best right-handed hitters of all time. Like, and he debuted 20 years ago. It's like, this guy's been doing it forever.
And just
at such a high level forever too. Like, just to consistently every year come out and produce.
Do you think about those guys, like how many bullpens they've thrown, how many balls they've shagged for during BP, like how many rounds of BP that Miggy has taken? in his career. And like, he'll do it. He won't even do it every day, but like, I'm sure he was taking, I mean, I don't know, but like, was he taking it every day during his, prime? But it's like, and he's there every day.
All the swings, many swings.
I asked that question the other day. I asked you guys about swings, but like, I was like, do you think I've thrown a baseball over 1 million times in my life? Like the motion of throwing a baseball, like, you think I've done it 1 million? Like, do you think you've taken 1 million swings in your life? I think it's got to be close.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
And that's just insane. Like, and the reason I thought of it as a pitcher, I was like, well, my elbow hasn't blown up yet, and I've done this so many times. Like, it's got to go soon, right? Like, I've been doing this thing forever. Right? Like, that's just crazy to me how many times we've done the same motion over and over and over. And we're still not there. We're still not those guys. We're still not Miggy or Tom Glavine.
I just couldn't imagine having like your body, your mentals in like that state of mind for that long.
And I don't want to knock like the Reds here, but like, and think of like Joey Votto, like he's played on some bad teams, and like you just keep go out and produce. You're like, what else can I do? Like, I can't sit and sulk. Like, he still goes out there and hits 300, and their team's 10, 20 games below 500. Like, that's got to be tough, like you said, mentally.
You know what I was thinking when we had that conversation with him though? I was thinking there were some good Reds teams in there too.
Oh, there was some very good ones. I'm thinking more like the last couple years, like especially when you're 38, 39, and like you're playing on a team and you're 20
he said
games
he played
below.
He played with Griffey, right? He said he did.
He played with Griffey. Just like
Brandon Phillips. Ooh.
Brandon Phillips, Drew.
God,
Stubbs,
I've watched every
Jake
video
Bruce.
of that guy on YouTube. That guy has some of the best glove flips in the world.
A really good Scooter Jeanette.
Scooter.
Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray.
He was very good on the Reds. Sorry, I just want to throw a picture in there. I know you guys only talk hitting.
David Ross, Adam Dunn. He played with
was
Josh
also
Hamilton
on the Aroldis Chapman was coming up throwing 105.
Edwin Encarnacion on the 2017 played third base.
Wow. Was Adam Dunn like the first, like, hey, like, we're okay with you hitting 230 because you're going to give us 35 to 40 homers a year? Like, he's like the first guy that comes to mind for me where I'm like, his average wasn't always there, but he was going to hit you a homer. Like, if you needed a homer, he was hitting it out.
Let me tell you Adam Dunn's slash line in 2007.
I'm here.
Okay. Adam Dunn, 27 years old, played 152 games, left field. Okay. 632 plate appearances. 40 pumps. 106 RBIs. Hit 264 with a 386 on base and a 554 slug for a 940 OPS.
It's pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
Decent.
Joey Votto was 23. He played 24 games. In those 24 games, he had 321 with a 360 on base and 548.
That's kind of a crazy stat. I was looking at Adam Dunn's. He had 4 straight years hitting exactly 40 home runs from 05 to 08.
No way.
Yeah.
Josh Hamilton played 90 games for the Reds that year at 26 years old. He had 292 with a 368 on base and a 554 slug, good for a 922 or a 131 OPS plus. Bet nobody can name that slash line from old Josh Hamilton.
That's your guy, Ian.
That's my guy.
Is that your guy? I was just about to say, I saw him. That was, I believe, 06 or 07. I saw him the year, 07. It was so. I saw him the year before when he was doing his comeback. With the Rays. He played in Hudson Valley, where I grew up as a season ticket holder and got to meet him as a kid. One of the most intimidating human beings I've ever seen as like a 10-year-old, because he's just giant and tatted up, but was like the nicest guy alive. And was obviously just like went to low A and was just like absolutely mad. Like, I was like, oh, this is the greatest baseball player I've ever seen. So I mean,
monster. He's huge.
You remember those homers?
He was an actual, like, it was like when you saw the Monstars from Space Jam as a kid. That's what Josh Hamilton was to me as a kid. I was like, this guy like stole someone else's talent because he could pitch. They were like, he could throw 99. He could hit. He could do everything. It was incredible.
His book was the first one I read since like elementary school. I read it in like college, and that was the first book I'd read since I was in elementary school. Great book, by the way.
Josh Hamilton in 2011 was like the most amazing thing ever.
Do you remember him in 2009 at the or might have been 2008, the last Yankee Stadium home run derby?
Oh yeah,
when he was just peppering shit off the fucking facade.
The worst part is he didn't win because like that was like the semifinal round or something.
Yeah,
so
and he was just
that is the funniest part about that one, Tom, is like people talk about that. Like if that home run derby gets brought up, it's like, oh, remember Josh Hamilton? It's like, yeah, but who won it? Like I don't even know who won it.
It was,
but I just think of Josh
no.
Hamilton.
It was one of those two.
Minnesota guys.
Dude,
that's
Josh.
I remember that. I think it was 2009, wasn't it? It was either the first year of the new Yankee Stadium or
no,
the
it was last year. It was 08.
One.
It was last year.
Okay, so it was the last year of the Yankee Stadium.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he was so out of breath going into that final round.
Think of how much effort you put in to just take G hacks.
Guys sitting there bat tipping.
Yeah.
The bat tip. The 5-year All-Star run that he had. Dude, in 2010, he hit 359 with a 411 on base and a 633 slug. Good for a 1044 OPS. That is 170 OPS plus. That is 70% better than the league average. That year he won the MVP. That's fucking unbelievable. What a player. God.
We were talking about win-win trades in the office, and one of my favorite all-time win-win trades is the Edison Volquez for Josh Hamilton trade, because Hamilton obviously goes off and does that. Volquez the next year in Cincinnati is an all-star, 17-6, a 3.21 ERA in 33 starts, 200 innings. Guy was like, it was one of those rare trades where somehow both teams immediately just got better because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, Hamilton will never make it into the Hall of Fame. He only played 9 seasons, and he really only played 5 full seasons. But God bless it, was he an unbelievable player for those 5 seasons, and that was fun to watch. Let's do some screen time. The people don't want to hear us talk about how much we love Josh Hamilton right this second. Okay, people want to hear about screen time. They want to hear about Sloan. They want to hear about automatic hand washers and flushers. Okay.
Back, did they have them out in Cali?
No, I didn't go not till we got back into New York, Connecticut.
That's Connecticut. That's commitment.
Yeah, I mean,
that is
again, always working, always,
I have a really high number today and I'm embarrassed, so I'm gonna go first and get it out of the way. We're at 528.
Wow, even that high, you're disgusting.
You're
such a dork that's like that's such a high number.
447.
What?
447.
Good day, Tom. This new
420
schedule's got you locked in.
Damn it.
Dakota?
420, Zach?
Yep. 421 now.
432. I thought I had it today.
The high number for me. It's
Dang it. I thought I had it today. Man,
Dakota, Ian finished
lessons.
We got Ian.
I just want to tell the people, we're going to start a segment where every week we tweet out or in Instagram on the story our screen times. So we're going to hold ourselves accountable. We're going to put it out there on the line, and we would like the people to tweet back at us. They're slow screen times, but tough week for me. I got that one out of the way. We're not going to post that, and then we'll do it in a couple weeks once the John Boy people get the thing out. That was episode 144. Anthony Rizzo, shout out, friend of the pod. Haven't done it on in a while. Maybe we'll get him on before spring training comes. 144, the Compound Podcast, brought to you by Parsley Rum. When I say Parsley, you say
Rum.
Did you guys watch that clip from Compound Live?
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, baby. All right, we'll see you next week.